Organized crime syndicates are deeply entrenched in Japanese history. Known as the Yakuza, they were once seen as gangsters with a strict code of honor, helping police the criminal underworld. Their traditional tattoos symbolize their commitment to the Yakuza way of life.
In the Edo era, men in certain occupations had such tattoos. Not just the Yakuza, but men like carpenters, builders, and firefighters. They were all fit and skillful. When you compare their tattoos, the Yakuza stood out even more. Tattoos were fascinating to these men because it was a sign of strength and courage.
4 centuries later, the legacy of the Yakuza is more than skin deep as they snake between both sides of the law, heroes to some, a menace to others.
We had a nationwide problem a few years ago. Foreigners, especially illegal Chinese, were running drug and prostitution rings and rigging slot machines in gambling parlours. They committed all sorts of crimes, even armed robbery. I say this with confidence. We got rid of them.
But the romance of their legacy is fading fast, given the Yakuza's links to extortion, drug trafficking, and deadly armed assaults. Their estimated revenue runs into billions of dollars a year. Authorities have set a new law to strangle their existence. I'm Chan Tao Cho. In this edition of 101 East, we enter the dark side of Japan and ask, is it the end of the mighty Yakuza? This is Kabukicho, a red light district in the heart of Tokyo with more than 3,000 adult entertainment outlets. Decades of organized crime activities add to its seedy reputation. Increased policing has curtailed acts of brazen extortion and intimidation once common in this part of town. But Yakuza operations have blended into the bright lights. Masaru Jo is the head of a local business association. It conducts weekly patrols here to ensure touts don't harass the public. But even they avoid the lanes found under Yakuza territories.
I hesitate to say this, but there is order where there are Yakuza territories. When no one is in charge, people move freely, and there is more customer harassment. But the Yakuza would say, "This is my patch, don't mess with us." They expel troublemakers and keep the order. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
By the end of last year, authorities implemented a new law nationwide targeting organized crime. It is now an offense for individuals and companies to have any dealings that benefit the Yakuza or people related to them. The aim is to choke their sources of revenue. But Joe says the police are up against an invisible enemy.
They're not too visible as they avoid the public eye, but that doesn't mean they're gone. They can go underground and have other schemes.
Despite the new law, he says some of these schemes outsmart even the police.
Credit card companies don't allow their cards to be used in these adult entertainment outlets, yet some shops indicate that they accept credit cards, making customers think they're legal. But when you charge the bill to your card, it goes to a different credit facility. Normally there's a 3% processing fee, but this facility takes over and charges 15%, of which 10% goes to the Yakuza. That's how it works. It's wrong, isn't it? But there's not enough evidence to make it punishable by law. That's why we urge the police, do your job, please set the necessary laws.
The line between both sides of the law used to be murky in Japan.
5 years ago, I was driving home in my Maserati sports car. The white car pulled up in front. The driver got out, pointed a gun at me and said, "Who the hell do you think you are? I'm going to shoot you." I said, "Are you mad? What are you doing?" He thought I was from a rival Yakuza group. I told him who I was and his attitude changed completely. He probably knew my name. I feared he was going to kill me. He looked crazy.
Former police detective Akihito Saruta lives in this quiet Osaka neighborhood. His extensive connections with the Yakuza landed him a lucrative consultant business after he retired from the police force. Companies facing difficulties with crime syndicates hired him to provide advice and help with negotiation. But times are changing. New regulations make it illegal to have any ties with the mob. Saruta has laid off his staff, sold his sports car, and plans to wind up his business.
With the new law in place, I just want to retire as soon as I can. I've been through so much hardship and danger. Honestly, I'd rather stay away and not have to deal with them anymore.
Sarota is a well-known personality. This comic book illustrates his heyday 20 years ago. It reveals a time when the police worked with the Yakuza to crack cases.
それもあったんですけど
The
ね
detective in charge of a particular group would develop a relationship with the boss.
起こったんですよ
The Yakuza would give him information.
そこ
It
の
was a sincere relationship, but it was crucial not to cross the line and